Hello guys! In this video I want to show you how to create a custom build module for ClickTeam Fusion. I've already made some testing stuff here, a simple project to show you what we need to do. So, the first thing that we do in this DLL is we call this main function for convenience, and we are allocating the console just in case we need it in future. You don't need to do this, I'm just using it for debug purposes. Then we have some exported functions, I'll talk about this in a moment, and we have this source.definition file that actually contains all the exports from our DLL, so all the exported functions. You just need to use the exact same file, except you need to change this to your library name. Let's talk about these functions. Let me quickly open the Fusion. I already have this module loaded, so if we create a new file and we click on the application or we open an existing file, it will show us the console because we're already allocating it in our code at this moment. That's the moment where our module gets loaded. And here in the build type we have our test build type. So the first exported function that we can see here is called getNumber of build types, and it's pretty much the number of build types that we have. In our case it's just one, this one, test build type. The second one is getBuildTypeName, which is the display name of our custom build type that is displayed here. In the first argument, and the only one, actually shows us which build type to show in case there's multiple of them. So we can have an array with strings and we just return the one that we need. I'll show you how to work with multiple build types in a moment. Okay, so the next function is called getBuildType, and what we do here is we get the flags for our build type. Just let me point out that this feature of Fusion is not documented anywhere, and I don't really know how exactly everything works, and I don't understand how these flags work, so I'm just using this value because pretty much the empty flags, it doesn't do anything to the result. GetBuildOptions and also these two functions are linked together. When we try to build our game, here we can see the Fusion game.exe, and there's only one of them. This function returns the number of these file types, and this one actually returns all the file types themselves. So you can put like Fusion CCN with the .ccn extension, it doesn't matter, you can put whatever you want here. GetFileSelector title is this part, so the title of this file selection menu, and getFileSelectorDefExt is the extension that we'll get as a result. No matter what this shows, it will always use the extension that is placed here. So that's the functions that are used to actually load the module, and the build function is the most interesting one. It has 4 arguments, and I'm not sure what the 4th one does, but I do know what these 3 do. So the first one is the out path, which is the requested output. So if we do cout, if we do something like this and add the reference to the IO stream, build this, here we have our DLL. We need to remove the DLL extension and change it to BLD extension. After that we can go to data, runtime, and we can simply drop this file here, replace. Don't forget to close the engine before trying to replace it. And then if we run the Fusion, create a new file, use our build type, and if we try to build it, that's our current folder, and in the console we can see that this is a Unicode string and we need to use the vcout to do something with it. And every time you make a change to your module, you can either do it automatically using a post build event, but I don't want to do complicated stuff here. I mean, it's not complicated, but you'll need to set it up for yourself because it depends on where you have the Fusion installed. So yeah, not the topic of the current video. So now if we build this, we can see that Fusion wants us to put our output file in this folder, because that's what the user wants. The next one is the CCN path, and if we print it in the console, get our DLL and paste it here, run the Fusion, try to build the application. In the console we can see that this is the file, but the interesting thing is if we copy this and we paste this here, it won't work because it doesn't exist anymore. To actually get it, we need to freeze the application. Just do anything to freeze the application. It doesn't really matter what you do. You can execute an external program here and it will return once the building is done. So the file only exists while you're inside this function. So once it returns, the file is gone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I added this message box and it's gonna freeze the thread that the custom build function is running on. And if I try to build this now, it stops and we can now copy this, open it, and here we can see the icon for the game and the CCN file. Let me just open it, and yeah, that's the normal CCN file. The only thing that's different from the actual game is that this one, as far as I know, it doesn't have any encryption. So it's just a compressed file. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is the build type, but for that we need to have multiple build types, so I can actually show you how this one works. And what I would recommend you to do is to create a structure and call it a build type info, and you need some members here. First one is build type name, the next one is, let's say, build flags, the next one should be file selector filter, next one should be file selector title, and the next one should be file selector deftext. And in the beginning of this code we need to create some of these. Oh, and we also need to have the array of these things. I'm just gonna use a normal C style array because we don't need anything else here. So I'm gonna do static build type info. I'll set it to 3. So here in this function we need to create each one of them. So the first one should be get build types, and we need to initialize everything. So we set this to, the next one is, okay, you need to do it like this. Not the best way to do it, but the next one should be build type name, build type 1. All of this should be just exe files, and these are Unicode, you shouldn't forget about this while writing all this stuff. Filter, we can just use this part again. File selector title, file selector 1, let's see. So we have all this stuff. And now if we copy this and replace all these zeros with 1, set it to build type 2, and the third one will be build type 3. Okay, so number of build types, it should be size of build types divided by size of build types, the first element. That's pretty simple. Then we have the get build type name. And here we need to get the build types array, get the element from it, and get the build type name. And we need to do the same thing for each and every one of them. Get build options. Okay, we'll just leave it as 1 for now. Build types, A1, file selector filter. There we go, and let's get the build type here. It should be 2, not 3. Yeah, I'm an idiot. And now we can see all of our 3 build types. So if we try to build it now, we get 0. If you select the second one, we get 1. And for the third one, we'll get 2. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it. In the build function you can do something like switch, build type, break, case 1. Here you can do whatever you want. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to show you. Thank you for watching and goodbye.